Hello, good afternoon. Today we're filming in the community called Mashie, and this is one of the oldest slum communities in Accra. It's very strange and interesting to be here because we are filming in a place called Usher Fort, and Usher Fort is one of the old slave forts. So this is where the slaves were kept, and there used to be a slave market here. So when you walk around the fort, you see pictures depicting the slaves, how they were chained, how they were brought here, and how they were sold. And you even have pictures of some of the old colonial lords and masters. It's really a curious place and a perfect place to actually be talking about informal cities and the dialogue that they have or do not have with the formal city. Because right here in Mashie, there's a sharp divide. In just a few minutes walk on the other side is actually the actual center of Accra, the heart of Accra, the financial center, the judicial center, in fact, Independence Square. You can just see it from here on the other side. And then when you just turn your face, just glance on the other side, you see the fishermen living very much as they've lived for like a century, fishing with the same rudimentary tools. And you glance over a little bit further and you see the lack of sanitation, you see the market square, and a community that really appears to be untouched by the prosperity of this now middle-income country. It's quite emotive actually to be here and to have filmed the young people and the older people here talking about the future of Accra, because in many ways they really haven't had conversations within themselves or with the rest of the city about what their lives can mean and what the future can hold for them. So when we began to have these conversations, we quickly realized that the level of literacy here is actually very low. So the reports that say that it's very low and that over 60% are illiterate and the highest level is a senior high school, if that, those reports are correct. Sometimes you read it and you think it's an exaggeration, but it's actually true. We had some difficulties in getting people to even sign their name, even to spell their name, and these are grown women, these are mothers, in this city. And I find it very touching because so many women came with their young children, happy, healthy, and yet this is a city, the community that only has one health center. One health center in a population, this population of Usher Town has about 300,000 people. The other side, Jamestown, has 546,000 people. One health center, one school, and people are basically living on the streets. I understand that the households here accommodate about 11 people per room, and generally you're talking about 2 households. So there's a high level of teenage pregnancy because a lot of young people sleep on the streets. There just isn't room to accommodate them. So there's a lot that needs to be done, and there's a conversation that needs to be had, but more importantly, there's action that needs to be taken.